Appreciate your time, Frank. This gentleman has done wonders for sim racing, the real world racers that come into sim racing or go back and forth. Frank's responsible to get some guys out on track. So without further ado, Mr. Frank Swartz, Grass Paddock Motorsports, tell us what you do.
What do we call this thing? The Racing Line. I'm all out of sync. We got more people to deal with this week than what I'm used to. So thanks to my co-host, Jason, for joining us. Adam's back this week. And as you can see, we got a fourth sitting here. Megan Oversheet is already joining us to help us do some reviews and stuff. So thank you, Megan.
Let's go, Megan.
And help us. Good evening, Greg.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, we're just getting ready to review the spec racers, and since we had an announcer in the waiting room, we thought we'd go ahead and bring you in.
Well, thank you very much.
There he is.
Hey, we got him.
Hey, Jason, we got you this time.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me.
We won't talk about the other time.
Our special guest for the evening, Mr. Dave Ogburn, and for Dave to introduce you to these two knuckleheads, you got.
Great to see you, Thor. Welcome to the fourth chair and the podcast this week.
No, thank you so much for having me. It feels surreal, like finally being able to talk to you guys. You know, I've been in this league for like what 2-3 years, and finally face to face.
Yes, of course, yes.
Jeff.
You're on the spot now, Jeff. So, welcome, Mr. Jeff Jacobson. Again. Great to have you here. Thanks for taking some time out to join us. We get to some fun part. That's why you're here, Jerry. This is our guest segment after the reviews. So thanks for sitting through with us. And
that was fun.
And
thanks.
Yeah, it's some good racing. So, well, first of all, we gotta say thank you to Trenton for taking time to come join us. He's one of the hardest working guys I know, and you can look there in the shop behind him and get an idea of what he does. So as everybody sees, we've got Darren Ganji, and if you didn't know already, he is Mr. Sim Motion, where you can get all your sim rigs and equipment and everything. He's also the sponsor of that league we were just talking about.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Sean Ambrose, we go back forever, back to the very early beginning days of the Weekend Warriors, when it was broadcasted on another broadcast, GSRC, I don't mind saying it. Very good to us, and Sean was one of the producers, announcers, always great to talk with.
So, Mr. Edgar Sancinelli, Weekend Warrior, Frito Sport Racing. I don't know what all you do, but great to have you join us tonight, Edgar.
Yes.
I'm not saying shit. Oh, yeah, I literally. Whatever,
Yeah,
I give up.
there you go.
I know you've had a mute for me.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, when you
Yeah.
just for the views when Adam and you were there. I mean, it's
Yeah, it's
jeez.
Oh, yeah.
And welcome, everybody. Episode 24 of the Racing Line. Going to have a lot of fun tonight. We got a special guest. My mind just went blank. Michael Odell. Oh, man. Sorry, Michael. Yeah.
Written
Oh,
on
don't
the
worry.
screen.
I see. Yeah.
Jeez.
He's
Just been talking to
Mongoose.
him for
And
the past
yeah,
half hour.
I know it, but I look up and it says Mongoose. And I had to, okay. What?
Yeah.
Or Mogoose.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The initials. That's how I got it.
Michael, okay. All right. Appreciate you joining us. Going to be a lot of fun. Got the usual suspects here. Mr. Adam Paint Guru tonight, Thompson. He has been busy with that, working for us.
Can't escape it.
JG2, I know you were pretty busy with these reviews today, so.
Yeah, we've got a lot of action this weekend.
You ready to get to it?
Yep. Let's get
do
into
it.
Ready?
Hey, Antonio, Russell, Trenton, Tam, everybody in the chat. Good to see everybody.
The finish line, you need to be at the front and have a
And
clear.
Yeah,
Bees.
starting off.
Hoping to be
Barbara
the one
Louise
grabbing that
and lit
checker
it all.
flag first.
Well, they actually had the smoke when they shifted these.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Downshift and up. I actually made this race this week for a change.
Yep. And the visor still gets dirty
Oil,
really
yeah.
quickly.
Yep. V's are a lot of fun, Mike.
Honestly, these are the V's, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
What day do these run?
Saturday.
Ooh, now I'm pondering.
Yeah, there you go. It's basically the same time block as the SRFs on Sunday.
Yep.
If I can, I'll try to make a guest appearance or two.
This type of action is like this all the time. Normally better than that. Bye, Guido.
Upside down goes Antonio Reese.
That's a kickflip.
I want
Yeah.
to talk
And
about
then,
Antonio Reese here for half a second after we watch the amazing pirouetting that we see here.
Barrel roll.
Quick little kick flip.
Michelle.
There, back on
Yeah.
our wheels.
That was Antonio has caught nothing but bad luck over the past month.
That was a hip check.
And that was himself and Kurt Nunez coming to blows, heading off into turn number 9. Reference.
Yeah, they usually got
actually
30-ish,
we talked to
35
Tola
Vs
last
every
week.
Saturday.
His perspective
So
in terms of the
it's a ton of fun.
championship between himself and Green as he runs wide, hang through the final corner. That's going to give Jason Green the opportunity to possibly take the lead.
Uh-oh.
That Nate Collis
Tim
Yeah.
says
maybe
Antonio's
for
getting Anvil as a middle name.
Yeah.
Here we go, 4 wide.
Nate was pretty conservative here. I thought for sure he was going to make it 3 wide, but he just kind of chilled behind us for a second.
Hey, Jason, Thor just drove around the outside of you there, right?
Yep.
You showed me a video last night of the SRF official race. You said you got absolutely embarrassed when
Yeah.
someone drove around the outside
To
of
be
you.
fair, that was on the brakes and the V's don't break in that corner. Just
You don't break, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thor.
Just say it's like the Fast and Furious, where if you believe, you can suddenly go 30 miles an hour faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tor is just rapid in these damn cars, man.
Yeah. Well, Tor runs them real life over in UK and Japan, so and he's part of Brabham Motorsports, so he's
he's
good.
Home field advantage.
Yeah.
Heading through, coming out of the corner now into turn
Jason and Tor going at it.
And looks
Yep.
like Tullo still
And
not
he,
able to get that. Actually, he does get the move done. Run as I say that, he finally clears Jason Green.
skill issues.
Well, we've
Had a good
few
battle up front.
right near
All
the
four
end
of
here. All
Yeah,
the
this
way to the
this track kind of breeds
and all
that.
of a sudden
It's
four in the grass and
it's a very technical track, but it's also it's got just enough draft to keep people together. It's really difficult to overtake.
Oh,
I might
my.
have to look at getting it for next season.
Cow. Mario Cone.
I may have to look at getting Donington, because I'm surprised that one hasn't made my my cart yet on iRacing.
Yeah, that was a fun track. We ran it in all 3 series this season.
Yeah,
it was
Trent,
fun
I
to
wonder
have
if there
a
was
follow
any.
every car.
Let's see if there was any drama in the V's, man.
Yeah, coming
I
up
mean,
the
it's
final
looking
lap,
pretty
right?
clean right now. Let's see.
Shut up, Trent.
Coming up.
Drama and open wheelers? No,
Yeah.
never.
Great battle, Jason. Great battle, dude. The whole time, man. Like, I'm not taking anything away from what may or may not happen here.
It was a good battle. Good
Oh,
racing.
I hear was. That doesn't sound.
Into turn number 10, the kink
It's
into
coming
the
up.
hairpin of turn number 11, right towards the end of the second to last lap of the race. As well, the gap between Con and Rodriguez has
Coming down the
diminished
last
in the span
corner.
of just
Excellent camera
one
selection
lap.
by Josh,
Here
as
we
always.
go. Contact being made. The bump and run going to Jason Green to the back of Tortoro.
All right, remember I said I wasn't going to pause, Stevie? Well, I'm going to pause for 1 second because, Jason, the amount of sorry, Stevie, the amount of shit you gave yourself and how much you beat yourself up over what we just saw there.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to take some good things out of that. Number one, you stopped. You let Tor get going, and then you went. How many drivers would have just driven through Tor and taken that win? So that's number one. So any much you want to beat yourself up about it, we all beat ourselves up about incidents that we get into, but absolute masterclass after the incident of how you handle after incident issues. So thank you for doing that.
Appreciate it. Yeah. At the time, I was trying to brake early, but I looked at the telemetry and I did not brake early. I actually broke later.
Yep.
So yeah, 100% my fault. I'm sorry I get to Tor.
Reverse psychology braking.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But Jesus, second season in a row at this track, was there to pick up the pieces.
And also, the V and the Fords, they follow the same track schedule, right?
No, it's a different schedule.
Oh. Okay. I say I don't know if Spec Ford would survive here.
We
ran it
was
last
pretty fun
season,
here.
I think.
And Ron picked up on this, and I didn't know this. Same exact situation happened last season.
Yeah.
Same exact situation,
Yeah.
same exact person won the race.
Well, I don't think Jesus got second.
Oh, he did.
So the next season they have to bump and run the winner. They can't have a three-peat.
Exactly. Yeah, if you see Tor and Jason for 1 and 2 around here again, you better be happy you're in third.
You better be third.
Just sit there and wait. Yeah.
Great job from Jesus. His first win in a while, a couple seasons at least. So good to see him doing well again at the top of the podium. Alan as well took advantage, getting the Masters win, and Nate. Nate took a really smart race as well.
One season removed, and it's still going to be a heads.
My God, dude, Josh, I don't know how many times he replayed this, man, but he replayed it a lot.
See, I fixed him.
You did.
He's
in the right direction again.
He did the control F12 and starts finding every. Oh, okay.
We also have a little.
Oh yeah, there's some shenanigans.
There's some good bumps there, and there's.
Waterproofing for Holton Park is going to be a real important matter.
That's realistic.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
that's right, Michael.
Yeah, that's for real. I can confirm.
Yeah.
Last time I saw a Formula V do that, they still were running and actually made it look brand new.
All right, looking at
Russell
results
got
here.
his
Yeah,
third top
Jesus,
9 this season.
unbelievable drive. Jesus, right place, right time. I will call Jesus a prodigy of Guido Marzucchi, because Guido is normally the one that likes to hang out and just let stuff happen in front of him, and Guido capitalizes. Jesus capitalized today. Alan DeGasis, a driver that I haven't mentioned in quite a while. P2,
He's coming on.
Masters win.
Coming on.
Unbelievable job. Jim Brewster, obviously, with a P2 in class and 6th. Andrew Love comes home in 7th. Jim and Andrew, guys, in case you didn't know this, are very, very close friends. So it was really cool to see them finish nose to tail like that with a battle that also Jim had across the line there was pretty impressive.
Jim and Andrew actually work together.
Oh, well, that makes it even better.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty cool. Guido goes, "You compared me to Jesus. I take it as a compliment." No, to Jesus, I think.
No,
he meant.
the other way.
Yeah. But
well, I mean, Jesus is a great driver as well. So
yeah, he is. But on to the FFs.
Yep. And surprise.
Yeah, more rain. What do you know?
In the UK.
Oh, look at that.
In the UK, imagine that.
Well, this is Japan, actually, so you think we would have
Okayama, that's right.
But I mean, it never rains in Japan. I don't know.
No.
Totally unreasonable.
I'm pretty sure there have never been any F1 races canceled because of rain in Japan, right?
They just left the sprinklers on. That's all.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, Monty from pole. Hey, Flavio.
Monty had a little competition getting pole.
Yeah.
One driver not. That's tough. Sideways heading through turn number 1. That's not
Honestly, he's in the toughest spot too, because also every single car is watching him to see if when he hits the brakes, do the brakes work, or does he just go straight on into the dirt?
Hey Guido, I know you're in chat right now, so I'm going to do a little bit of live. What's the word? Critique. Because I get it all the time from everybody else. So welcome to the club, buddy. There were some mic issues. I think we were peaking. I know I was peaking a little bit as well. So just keep that in mind. Maybe turn us down just a little bit, buddy.
Some iRacing armchair coaching.
Making that early call to come into pit lane either, as Jason Green going to come into the pits in the 160
and I
car.
put the early strat, the Stevie strat. Did not work out. Spoilers.
I can't stop screaming, Guido. I'll never stop screaming.
Yeah. One started second, had one mistake, and it kind of just snowballed a little bit on him.
And Tolo getting that moved on in rather commanding fashion. Garcia
was running up front again with the rain.
As he tried to go for it on McConnell, you could see Soren Garrett's go off the track a little bit farther in the back, a shot as well. So that's what happened to Garcia. The replay to see what happened to race. You can see him involved in
the end zone
of race cars. I think Garcia, Salmon, and Wolowski involved in this one.
No luck.
No
luck.
Nothing he could have done.
Nope.
Goes Antonio Reese.
Again.
Yep.
Actually, no, I've got that butt backwards. It's 65 ambient and 62 is a track temperature. So really,
Kevin Adrian on the brakes.
Yeah, he went deep.
And Kevin Adrian heading through turn number 5. Not close
This was a fantastic battle the whole race. Michael, Kevin, and Richard.
Michael McConnell is always fast in the rain.
Car bad.
That wasn't really a green car bad moment, though.
Yeah.
I don't think cars are supposed to phase through each other like that.
No.
I mean, in that case, I was glad for the lack of realism.
Yeah.
Although it did give me a 1 second per lap of damage, aero damage, so that was not ideal.
I mean, at least it hasn't done the where it turns the following car into a railgun, where the physics don't know what to do, so it just has the one toe on.
Oh, just wait till we get to the SRFs, buddy.
Oh, we do have that here.
Yeah, we had that this weekend too.
Man, that was close. The alligator almost got him something.
Trent doing his best to scare the crap out of Boris.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trent got super unlucky. His computer stopped working right as we took the grid, so he started 4 laps down.
Flavio, I know you tried to mention a couple times in the Discord chat, or in the Discord voice channel last night, and people were talking over you, buddy. So, nobody actually won the Thompson Trophy this weekend because everyone got back to the pits. I think the only person that has ran it out of gas on the track and not made it back to the pits has been myself so far.
True overachiever.
Quickest driver in that 3-car pack by far. But look at that sideways slideways.
Such a good battle. And then he's blinking. No.
From these drivers of Soren Garrett and Tortolo side by
It's a
side.
battle for second.
Soren
and Tor.
Oh, he threw it. Yeah, he had to take a chance and throw it in deep.
Good save though, Soren.
It had stopped raining at this point, so the track was slowly drying.
Isn't it? These cars have like a semi-slick, so it's a wet and the rain.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, let's go, money.
Let's go.
17-second margin of victory.
Money dominance, Maybor fans.
Yeah, he was out there.
taking the fastest lap of the race on the last lap of the process. Holy cow, a dominant performance from Jorg, but right behind.
Great drives from both Tor and Soren. Soren was flying at the end of the race. A great drive from Michael as well. He, yeah, just great defensive driving from him, as always.
Are really going to be wondering what they.
But yeah,
Our-
here we go.
our,
And then
in-house
Bill Walker
minister.
getting spec 2 in.
Them into the gravel trap at turn number 5, where we usually see this.
What happened to that
after
guy?
a race at Okayama
You're about to find
Where
out.
the race?
He's got to be barreling
Oh,
in,
no.
going Mach 4. I have no idea what's going to happen here, but I have a feeling it's going to make me laugh and into the wall. And oh my God, that was a big holy cow.
So these are the end of the race shenanigans. Someone's doing an upside down donut.
Let's go. Let's go. A one-wheel peel one as well.
Yep.
What the hell?
Yep, that was
He thinks he's in
Ron.
Monster Jam.
And look who ran out of gas and couldn't do the fun.
Oh.
Sitting there all lonely.
Nobody gave me
Not one of them could have pushed you.
Nobody. Josh Wilkie literally came up behind
Oh, look!
It's fine.
It's fine.
me.
It's
He
whatever.
started bumping me, then he gave up and just drove away.
Oh,
right
I
in front
love
of
it.
me.
Yeah. All right.
All
right, results here.
That race super
Uh-oh.
difficult, lots of fun.
Sorry, stand by. I just messed that up real bad, guys. Let's just go ahead and go back like nothing ever happened.
Man, there you go.
Jorg Monty,
Yeah.
slow down. Tor.
Let's go, Monty.
Yep.
Not even congrats. Just slow down, please.
Yep. Tor, unbelievable. Ian Joyner was not here, was he?
Yep.
No.
So Monty took over the role of Ian Joyner there.
Yeah,
Yep.
100%. But Tor, congrats, man. Clearly, Formula Vs are not the only thing you can drive in iRacing. So, yeah, congrats to Tor on his Spec 1 win. And then Alan DeGasis, obviously, in second place in Masters. But Bill Walker, another driver that you don't talk about much. Bill Walker, congrats, buddy. Congrats, man.
Oh,
So is
throwing
Brewster
shade in the chat.
is Brewster Spec 2 and he's Spec 2 and 4. Does he Masters
No.
in here?
He's
He's Masters and all of them.
Yeah.
Oh.
You might be
Yeah.
thinking of Andrew. Andrew is Spec 2.
Oh, there's
And-
two
Instead of
Brewsters?
Masters. No.
there's-
Oh.
So you got Jim Brewster down here in 17th. He's master. Andrew, though, Jim's buddy, is Spec 2.
Oh, okay.
He could be Masters, but he chooses to run Spec 2 instead.
Yep.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Hey, Guido, if you want to take the podcast over, man, you asked. Talk to Stevie. I won't be upset. All right. Anyways, over to the
You're not
SRFs.
going anywhere.
I know. I'm not going anywhere.
SRFs at Donington. Also, shout out to Guido. I think we mentioned already. But yeah, his first.
Guido did an awesome
first
job
broadcasting
producing
for-
these.
He did.
SMB for both
Unbelievable,
Formula
Guido, man.
Fords.
Natural. I mentioned I saw this coming from a mile away, by the way.
Yep.
Oh, this looks like a Road America.
I have not had a
Backup.
chance to watch
Yeah.
this yet, so this is all.
Oh. This literally happened at the runoff this season.
Yep.
For the Spec
It
4 as
happened
well,
in this
and last
league
year.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's a common thing.
Mhm.
Is that Trenton Kramer is going to try to take second place.
Look at
away from
Trenton up
Yancey
there.
Lynn.
Yep.
Maybe trying to think about sticking it three
He's
wide.
been
No,
flying this
Yancey Lynn
season.
around the outside now.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't have a chance to watch this one yet, so this is all new to me.
They gotta file in here sometime. It looks like they have.
Other than that, it looked like a very clean start. Kind of.
Okay,
unexpected.
Randall.
Not
Had
a
to say
surprise,
Other
but
than that,
unexpected.
yeah.
I had to say
Yeah,
something.
Joshua Wilkie did get some damage. You saw brake lights.
Oh!
Mauricio Nazelli goes around.
Murder.
Trenton Kramer caught him. Mauricio Nazelli falling down. There's more drivers. Gets caught in.
And
Oh, it's just-
here
oh,
comes,
no.
here comes the chaos.
Everybody got
It's
swamped.
fine. Four wide's fine.
Hey, Michael, do you
Yeah.
remember when you said when people get hooked on, you just take them for a ride?
Yeah.
Hard to see from that angle if there was any help involved there.
Oh,
he
no.
lost it on his
Yep.
own. His tires
Oh,
are
no.
cold, so he may have been it on his own as he
Oh,
bumps the
no.
909. Get out of my way. I got spots to make up.
Oh my goodness, it has turned into carnage. Great start, not so much. Great end of the lap. Look
That
at all
could-
that's happened.
I mean, that
Yancey
could have been
Lynn says,
so much
"Thank
worse."
you very much.
All things
Goodbye.
considered.
Felix Samoa's Jorg Monty, Trenton Kramer, your top four. In the 319 car. Now we are
This was an
back
epic save from
at what
Flavio.
happened with Flavio
Yeah.
Dallo. Looks like Aid Allen there on the inside.
We see Yancey Lynn leads the way, and is that Jörg Manny's under pressure from Trenton Kramer. He's going to go defensive on the exit of the chicane, going to give up the inside line for turn 1. And here comes Felix Simoes on Yanchi Lin.
Every
We're seeing a bunch
freaking
of moves at the front
lap,
of the field. So we're going
Stevie.
to back this group up, bunch them up into each other.
Again, you want to talk about a driver that knows where to position his car? Look at Yanchi Lin. This guy is just...
Oh, yeah, he...
They're going to race down
But I think it was Winton we were at, the last one I ran. He was a menace behind me. Like, you could tell he was waiting for the slightest little slip up and he was gone.
Yep.
While all the leaders are checking, getting ready to go green.
This man spec Fords.
Oh man.
Yeah, he's an alien.
iRacing, move the start finish line a little further
Indeed.
straight away, please. But anyways, Trenton Kramer now in the lead, Randall.
He's
going
fighting with
for
Yanchi Lin. Yanchi still has the defensive line, and it looks like he's going to retain the lead. Oh, maybe not. They're still going to be side by side as they race up the hill. This will be very dodgy going side by side.
It's a good size front pack, too.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see if they
Yeah, we had 8 for most of the first stint.
Wow.
Also notice the gap between Maurizio.
It's going to come down.
Yeah, it peaked at 7.7 seconds.
Side by side for the lead. Yanchi Lin taking on all comers so far. Going to have the inside line going into the chicane. Will they manage to shake this out? And yes, Yanchi Lin is going to retain that
It's so scary going side by side.
This fighting helps him close that gap back up and get back in contact with the leaders.
Randall, that gap has closed 2 seconds in the last 2 laps, and if they keep doing this, it's going to close even more, and Maurizio will be there halfway through this race. They've got to get this figured out. Trenton Kramer on the inside.
Newcomer,
Trenton Kramer on the outside. Martin Van Ecklen on the inside.
You know, it couldn't keep up for long as they scramble to avoid, and looks like everybody's going to get out of there relatively damage-free. Martin Van Ecklen going to lose a lot of time. That's going to help Naselli get a little bit of slipstream to try to catch back up to them. Plenty of time.
Nellen's gone.
He's got some damage on the front of that car. Look at this guy coming through turn 8. Jeez, that is sorry, turn 7. That is quite a sight to see. That 8 hour they're getting a little loosey goosey on exit.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Honestly, it stinks not having the speed to get out of the midfield, but also the brawl that you have in the midfield is fun.
Turn 1, a little bit of elbows out, driving very early on for some of these drivers. You kind of don't expect to see this as a spectacle.
There's usually
Yes, Bradshaw's going to inflict himself onto that fight.
Great avoidance from Adam Bradshaw, by the way.
High-speed S-turns, I do not recommend. To the driver in front of you, 1.6, 1.5.
I didn't include that comment.
Did Yanchi
And
Lin
he's not here to hear it.
slow down somewhere in there, or maybe missed a shift, and that cost him a whole second?
We'll have to link him to the stream after.
So yeah, Yanchi got bored, I guess. Decided to wait for us.
Michelle Lin with
that's very nice that he decided to wait.
in front of Daniel Salmon there, and now
I'm
very
nice. I'm conflicted.
Late move to the
It could be showboating, could be just he was wanting to give you guys a little bit of a chance. That's either one.
He's the kind I think would rather battle.
He wants.
Yeah.
He'd rather battle.
Yeah, he'd rather battle than to drive away.
Yeah.
Looks like Daniel Salmon very close, going to get the inside run, and then this runs a little bit wide there. Michelle left enough space, just carried a little bit too much speed. Stops from most of these drivers as Yanchi Lin.
He likes the wheel-to-wheel, not the hot lapping the whole time.
Line coming into turn 4 is in his best position thus far. Not going to get a good run off the corner, though. That's going to give Yanchi Lin the position back.
We're going to go to Maurizio Naselli, who is now 0.6 of a second behind Kevin
Maurizio's
Beaker. He's closed that gap.
He made it up.
Also, with front damage, by the way.
Yeah.
And he was still lapping faster than us. We were battling, but he was still going way too quick for a
Showing
car.
some good intelligence here to kind of get out of the way, let the leaders.
There's such thing as Bob for the
look at that.
Group off pit lane. He's going to
Guys got real dangerous on pit exit.
Third place.
Yep.
Yanchi Lin going to retain the lead over Felix
A little bit of rally car.
Some people took that
coming out of the pit lane.
And Mauricio now has no damage.
Oh, you want to talk about
Oh, great avoidance.
Michelle,
Hang on, Michelle.
Hopefully she wore her drop.
More dirt tracking, but we'll take it.
Driving suit moment is Naselli sends it up.
That was a sin.
Yeah.
He's going
to too much of one.
It stuck for the most part.
Yeah.
That last little bit was what got him.
Had to live coming out of it and let Jason go under. And
Trenton. A spot to Trenton Kramer. So Naselli very eager to get this race underway.
Yes, JG1. My thoughts exactly. In XSLR, if I'm in the lead, I'm out. See you, buddy.
Oh no,
Yep.
Same.
Yeah, I'd rather be safe.
Yeah. And plus, it's nice to have the gap to where if you need to dial it back a little bit for safe, clean lap.
Yeah.
So Trent was very angry right now, but I would like to point out that even though he's racing him really hard because he's pissed off, he's still racing it super clean.
That's a good thing to have.
It looks like cooler heads prevail.
That takes
right
some
now.
work.
Kramer with the lead, but Nazelli looking to the inside.
Like Randall said, clearer heads prevail.
He should
He
get this
knew.
one done pretty handily. And yes, he's kind of much more in control this time through the chicane. It gets him back into the same position he was just over a lap ago. Now
Here
trying
he
to
comes
track down
again.
Jason Green.
So good.
Is he gonna dive? Nope, he's there. But
Oh, he's not going to die, but he's going to leave it there.
Yep.
Yeah, see,
I'm
I'm
trying to
taking-
try to dive the gap and go further.
he leaves enough room for Maurizio on the outside, though.
Jason Green getting away every second.
Just
that this goes
enough.
on.
Absolutely. I think
Just
sometimes,
enough for a
if you
little
send
bit
the
of net
move,
code to stay
even
away.
if there's not an
Yep.
incident that results from it, sometimes you just try the patience of the other driver is able to track down Jason
Yeah,
Green.
Randall
But he
read
had
that
to-
perfectly.
It took him 3 laps to sort all this out.
And Trent,
Big
no.
side out of Trent Kramer. Look at all the opposite lock. He gets over
Overheated the tires.
Yep, that first little wiggle.
Yeah, he definitely knows
If you
how
don't
much
back
of
out
a
of it,
comes
then
into
it's
run,
just
but
gonna
here
do
comes-
it again and
here
again
comes
and
Yeah,
again.
you
Jason
hear
Green.
that? Listen to
Trading
Michael.
haymakers lap after lap.
No, no,
It seems like
he's gonna be
Samoa's
probably
just a better
coaching me
Yancey
later in the
Lin
year
back
anyway,
end of the
so
lap, and then
I'm about
Yancey
to-
Lin is
I'm
there,
about to learn how to do an
turn
H pattern
one,
in a
turns
race
two,
car,
and down the
maybe.
hill, and ultimately gets that position back in turn 4.
Do a
We
B
see
spec
this
in your
play out
future?
a few times this race. as they make their way
Possibly.
side by
We'll
side
have to
through
get
the
into that
S's,
later.
and Yancey Lin got
I'll see if I can ask.
ultimately
I'll have to ask
inside
Trenton
line
if they
through
can
turn
ask
3,
the guys to
because
get
we
a
see Felix
broadcast
Simoes
booth in there,
running really wide.
be on a
There you go.
podcast while we're turning laps.
There you go.
Final
Yep.
corner, so that's going to give Yancey Lin a lap or a lap
Trent
and a
said,
half
"Do
of
not
reprieve
flash
that
the
he's
rear
gonna try to
tires."
drive
LOL.
off.
He knew.
Here comes the
Yep.
Let's see if Geese is going to.
I did that at Road America with the Ford, and I turned it into a rally car.
Oh.
Yeah.
What did that get ruled as? Because I was a bit confused. Like, I think once the rear went, there was nothing he could do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a mistake on his part. So,
Yeah.
it's nothing malicious or anything. He had a horrible rejoin earlier in the race, which I think we had a message to him on that, and that actually got him DQ'd. So,
Right.
that incident right there got him DQ'd. So that's where the
I hope
iRacing incident system comes into play.
I hope we go
but
back
yeah.
to the replay of you turning
Jason
into
Green
this
has to
wreck
check
here,
up and
Jason.
pull off track. That's
I
going to
forget
give
if I
Jörg
included that or
Manny
not.
third position.
Here we go.
But is going to be seen
ready.
No,
absolute red after this race.
no,
Samoa's that gap is
Oh,
only one.
no,
and a half
it didn't
seconds.
go
He's
But,
having to avoid that
it's,
incident. So maybe he's got a shot here.
Yeah,
As
I
you see
just
Kevin
expected
Binkley
the lap
making a
car to
move
try
on
to
Jason
avoid
Green
going
through
to the
turn
right,
7.
I guess.
Gonna get the move.
I
Not
just kind of
quite done, but
reacted.
he will be
So I was
alongside
just
and
like,
have
okay, get to the
preferred
right of the
line
track,
at
and
the
that's
top of the
where
hill.
they
We'll
ended
see
up.
if he's
And
able
that's
to
where they
keep
went.
that spot or not. Jason Green
Oof.
fighting really hard around the outside.
Yep,
We're gonna have a
Kevin
drag
chose
race
this
down
moment
the
to start the
chicane.
battle.
Binkley gonna
Yep.
have the preferred line. We'll see if he's able to
I think we're coming to the
completely
white flag.
close this position. No, it looks like Green's going to have the good run down the straightaway. Binkley with the preferred line.
But
Hopefully
smart
this
move
shakes
there.
out. Binkley actually checks up. Like kind of a
Yeah.
shock there.
Yeah,
Come
I'm
on
not
lap
sure if
32,
he actually
white
lifted
flag
or if I
in the
just
air. He
broke him.
got a penalty. So too many
Forgot
off
to
tracks,
ask.
too many incident points. As Yancey Lin
A little
under
bit both,
attack
maybe.
one more time.
Maybe,
Here comes
yeah.
Felix
Could be,
Simoes.
probably.
This
All
is
right,
the
here we
last
go.
chance.
Remember what we
Who's
said
the
about
win?
driving away?
He got him.
Uh-oh.
Looks like Yancey gave him the
This is why you
outside.
drive
Now
away.
The inside though looks like
Oh,
he was gonna have
no.
to try to over
Doesn't
under in
have
here.
under,
It's gonna
doesn't
get
really
real
have the
close here in
run.
the chicane at the end, Randall.
A little
see
too
Yancey trying to
narrow.
go defensive, but he had a nose.
Yeah.
Oh,
no!
no.
Jörg Manny gonna clean up 2 spots.
Oh,
There goes
he's gonna
Jörg.
take it. Let's go, Jörg. Let's go.
And the old man prevails again.
Yep.
Your dominance. Let's go.
Not going to
the
lift
side
going
drive.
into this chicane.
Gotta
Kevin
love
Binkley
it when the
on
Masters
break.
get a win.
Jason thought he was going to go around the outside.
Hey, and in
Jason
2 different
slowed to the chicane.
cars over
Looks
the
like
weekend,
Jason's
too.
gonna
Yep.
take second place.
This
After
race was
everything's
directly
said
after the
and
Formula
done,
Fords,
Kevin Binkley
so
coming home third.
Oh, so
What
yeah,
just
that's
happened?
his double.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
janitor happened. That's exactly what
The
happened.
The janitor,
Yancey
yeah.
Lin
He calls him
to
the
come home
janitor.
fourth
Yeah,
overall,
Antonio,
all
I think
things
Felix and
considered,
Yancey are
not
both on
terrible,
one
but
screen.
not what he expected, and he probably regrets giving up that gap to Felix
Yep.
Simoes now.
Yeah.
We'll see what the stewards have to say about that. Martin Van Aken comes across the line in 7th. Trenton Kramer
Yeah,
comes home
that
in
is
8th.
why as much as
Dan
you want to
Whitsack
battle,
does
just
come
drive
home
away.
first
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Spec 2. Dan Whitsack
There you go,
didn't
Russell.
cover it
Age
at
and
all.
treachery
I don't know where
versus
he
youth
came
and
from. I am
enthusiasm.
so sorry, Dan,
Flavio said, check the cars running out of fuel. There were quite a bit.
The track was going to go to the left, and it went the exact opposite.
Yeah, is this it?
No, I just included Randall's comment here.
To stay out of it. So lucky move out of Jason.
This was the after race
incidents after the race.
Yeah, we missed all
Randall
of that, but that doesn't matter. I mean,
saying I did a good job avoiding it, and he just goes straight back to me and my car completely total. There goes Flavio for a trip.
For National Geographic, Randall.
Nice.
But yeah, let's go, Amani. Sweeps the janitor sweeps Sunday.
Yeah.
Again, York, slow down. Jason Green, congrats on your Spec 1 win. I mean, damn. That's all I can say about that. Obviously, if you guys go back and watch the broadcast, you'll hear me screaming most of the time. I apologize, Guido, for trying to get my mic levels right the whole race. But yeah, man, it was something to behold for sure. Dan Witzak, Spec 2 winner. So
coming on.
Yeah. Congrats, Dan. Very, very good drive by Dan. Ben Rycroft in 11th place, just outside the top 10. So good job to Ben as well. But
and check out who's in P6.
Yeah, P6 is Tortello. So clearly this guy he's starting to get a little bit better than just the V's now at this point.
Yep.
Oh, for sure. He had a quiet race. I don't think he did anything too flashy, but yeah. P6, very, very solid, great pace. He was keeping up with Maurizio, so yeah. Great
Stevie,
drive from him.
I don't know if we've ever had a repeat guest onto the podcast, but I would like to know. Tor obviously is getting more and more into real life racing now. He's traveling all over the world to do his real life stuff. I'd like to see, because as he's doing that, we're going and looking at these results. And they're getting better and better for Tor as he's getting more real life experience. So that'd be something to ask him how much of that carries over. So
file that in the history book.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll have to look at that. Sure.
All right, so here we go. Back to the podcast. Hey, Michael,
let me
put your shirt back on now, buddy. You're a pretty good looking guy, but everybody wants their shirt on.
No, I got a shirt on. Who's a special Hoosier shirt?
Yeah, I know. It's a joke. I do that every time we go back. But here we go. Stevie, you're up.
Look at that. Jason Green leading the Formula V's.
Yeah.
Tor's missing, 2 races on you? So.
Yeah. And I'll be racing this weekend as a
why
compensation for taking him out of that race, so he'll catch up even more.
Yeah,
to make things a little more fair.
Jason is doing a self-imposed.
Even though he's already done enough, you got to strike. Jason, everything you could have done, you did, man. There's no reason to beat yourself up over it, but we're not going to go there on this podcast.
Well, he's saying Tor lost a bunch of points, so he's going to make it fair. So we're going to have a race in the end. So Nate Colicchio?
Colecchio.
I get it. Colecchio. There we go. The old man can learn, but I'm slow. So, Spec 2, Michelle.
Let's go, Michelle.
Yeah, kicking butt. Andrew is right there behind her, 40 points or so. Yep. Travis is not too far behind Andrew. And Jorg said those numbers on the left side are the overall position. So, Monty is not too far behind Jason for the overall.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Brewster and Nick Tullo running out the Masters.
Nice.
Moving on over to Formula Fords. Ian Joyner wasn't there, but still has the lead.
Doesn't matter. Yep.
Look at Michael McConnell and Jason, 1 point.
Yep.
Yeah. Although it's kind of a joke between Michael and I now. We never actually pass each other, or I never pass him on the track. Yeah. It seems like I always pass him through the pit stops, which I tried to do again. But really, I guess it was intentionally this weekend. But yeah, hopefully we'll actually battle on track one of these days.
Boris leading Spec 2 by 1 point as well, so that's tight. Paul Jack over Jeff Wubker. Mm-hmm. Paul Jackson running out the podium there so far. Number 1 overall, Jorg Monty.
Yeah.
He's yeah.
Look at that. Look at the points gap.
Yeah.
Jorg dominance all across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
janitor.
Jorg is number one on Masters all the way across. So, and the lowest position he's got is over there on the spec Fords. He's third overall. So, don't ever count out the old guys.
Mm-hmm. Especially Monty.
Yeah. Antonio and Tom's only separated by a point too. So we got some good battles the rest of the season. Look out. And those
Antonio is
the drops start falling into place, and if Antonio can dodge some anvils.
Yep. Bad luck has to run out eventually.
Yeah. We've all been there. Felix Smoes leading the way with the spec Fords. 55 points over Jason. And Trenton Kramer bringing up the podium for that one. Dan Whitsack, I said he's coming on 5th overall and top of the spec too. Got a pretty good lead over Ben, and Ben's showing good this season. I think I asked before, is this Ben's first season with us?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think so, yeah.
So,
and he had a great quali. He actually started in front of me for this race. Just kind of got mugged a little bit on the start. I think we were 4 wide into turn 1. So so yeah, he lost a couple positions on the start and then kind of just got bogged down in traffic. But yeah, he's showing great pace.
Yep, good job, guys. Paulo Breme bringing up the podium on that one. And as we mentioned, Mr. Amani bringing up the lead in the Masters. Brad Cathcart, Tom Gradwell, everybody spread out pretty good there so far.
All right, real quick, Stevie, before you move on from the standings for round 8, where is he? I believe Paolo. Was it Paolo? No, it wasn't Paolo. Paul Jackson needs to get a mention. He had a great result. I don't see him in the stand. Oh, there he is. Yeah, right there. In the SRFs, I believe they said Paul Jackson needs a. My goodness, the chat's blowing up because you're not racing right now, Jason, and I cannot even find. I believe it may have been Flavio that said Paul Jackson needs a notable mention in one of these races, and I don't know.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He's I think he had one of his best finishes in the SRF race. He was talking about that. I remember that now.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go, Paul. He's always chilling on Discord. Usually he's pretty quiet on Discord. We want to talk to him more, but yeah, he's had a pretty good season so far. And yeah, one of his best
he's another
finishes.
one that's been around for a long time and just keeps. He's just there. He's
plugging away.
One of the good guys. Yeah, plugging away. He's, like I said, he's been there many seasons. So great to see Paul having a good one.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. And we are back. And
we got a lot to talk about here, Michael.
Yeah, if you haven't seen our podcast, first half or so is always a review and some fun with those from the previous weekend. The second half, you're in the hot seat, what we call the 4 seat. So,
oh boy,
I always got to start off with, how did you get into sim racing? Where did that come from?
So for sim racing, it came later on because then we had the real racing, and then as time went on, like of course, like anyone else, I started on like Forza Motorsport, terrible, but did Forza, and at a certain point when we were doing, I think it was 22, we were finishing up Lucas Oil Race School, and after we did that, I found a used gaming laptop and a Logitech G29 and said, this is my iRacing rig. There are many like it, but this one is mine. And for the next year and a half, I ran that until I could save up, and then got a PC and went from there.
So were you real world racing before you got into iRacing then?
Yes, real world karting. I had it where it was about a decade plus of karting, and then 2 outings in the Lucas Oil, the GR RSC, I think it was. It's like a Formula 4, but they run the paddles, the clickers.
Oh, okay.
These little fellas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
It was a nice car. It was definitely something to drive because of it was a street tire they used. Because they had the partnership with Falcon at the time. I think they still do. And that was also my first experience with a manual clutch. and I may or may not have I bumped into the car behind me because the transmission, I went to click into first and it gave me reverse. So I went to go release the clutch and it gave me 6, and I'm like, wait, I didn't know these things had 6. And before I could even finish my sentence, I'm backing up, and they're all like the whole time. So
Great into racing gear, love it.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
we're that's how we get the hot laps and records, is just putting racing gear in.
Yeah.
Epic.
So you did what? You said you did 2 or 3 races with that?
With that, I did 2 the schooling, because I had to do it to get the SCCA the full comp.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
And
no
then
racing conditions, just hot lapping, and that's pretty much hot lapping.
So after you got your license, then you got with Alliance and the Spec Fords?
I actually got with B2 with
B2.
Cliff
Okay.
over in Alabama, because then it started where I went on SCCA's site, scrolled through, first thing that came up was B2, shot him an email, and that was October of 23, and we did a track day at Barber in February to see if does the karting experience transfer over, because then you go from single speed tag to fully sprung gearbox, a lot more weight, a lot more physical around you. So, and test went well, and then he's like, hey, so you're not paying out your rear for transport costs. Here's these guys at Alliance, just tell them I sent you and work it out from there, and you'll be set.
Cool. Yeah.
How was that at Barber?
Ooh, it was fun. It was that track and
the full layout that you were doing.
Full layout.
Wow. Yeah.
The full layout. The only thing was the highlight of the weekend. There was 2 highlights. Highlight 1 was the fact that I was basically doing everything short of trying to throw elbows with Porsches the whole time.
Oh.
And the thing is, you have to point them by.
Yeah.
So I'm not throwing elbows, but
Yeah.
I was being
Yeah.
I was being no, I'm not Tommy Milner yet. But that, and also looking back at the footage, because when I don't know if you guys saw with IndyCar when the Georgina fell off the bridge.
Yep.
I didn't know that existed.
Yeah.
I knew that, like, you saw the spider, you saw the Mercedes bug, you saw the lady in the lake. I'm like, okay, this is Mr. Barber's an interesting man. And then I saw the Georgina thing. I'm like, wait, was that there when I? So I spent 2 hours going through all my files and folders, like, that's Georgina. I know that.
Awesome. So explain Georgina for anybody that doesn't know.
So
since you
at Barber Motorsports track, the park, there is a walkway and a bridge, and after there's a, I'm trying to think, after I think it's 5, there's a rundown, and then it drops, and into that drop and U-turn, and then to the left the museum. Before that first bridge, there is a mannequin lady called Georgina.
It's actually on the track.
No. If you watch IndyCar highlights, it fell on the track, and I think Newgard ran it over.
No.
But there was that, and then it's a mannequin. They literally just have going over the bridge. You have to be looking for it.
Yeah.
You have to be looking for it, because I never even processed it, because I'm trying to do this the whole time and not crash the car. And I look back at the footage, and you just see.
So you didn't notice it while you were actually there?
No, I never. Once I saw the video, it clicked in my head. Okay, that peripheral of, that looks like someone's hanging there.
Yeah.
That finally clicked. Okay, that's a mannequin up there.
Oh my gosh.
Or someone's training their arms really well.
Yeah. Of all races to fall down off of that into the middle of an IndyCar race.
IndyCar race of all of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
I'm surprised you didn't get a puncture from that.
Yeah.
Michael, I would assume Timothy is your father.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, he's sitting here in chat talking about you just a little bit. Trent,
hey, look, Dad, I'm on camera.
Yeah. Hi, Dad. Trent and Tim are talking about. I hope you can go by Tim. Sorry if you go by Timothy.
He goes by Tim, I think. If not, I'll hear about it later.
We'll find out. But yeah, Trent and Tim are talking right now. Trent said he wants to get into Alliance, wants to run with you guys. So sounds like, Trenton, you may have a way in here, Michael, just through the Racing Line. I've got by the way, Stevie, there's way too much going on right now on your end of the world, but just through the racing line, I think you've got an in with Trenton to help you get a little bit of training here, buddy.
Yep.
We have our ways, buddy. Welcome to the
Yeah, it says Alliance are good people, and verify because they were one of our sponsors for several seasons with the Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warriors.
Oh yeah, they're awesome. They've made sure to keep the fun aspect, especially on the grid. If you ever are on the Spec Ford grid, Alliance Auto, just because of people are in and out of their pit. They're helping with parts, setup, car. There's times where I've seen it like I'm leaving for the night and you'll see them back someone else's car that no one knows who, if it's just some random guy who brought it in. It's like, I need to get it running. And they're there, engines out, it's back in by midnight, and now you got another competitor. And then you see them all on the grid with the little boxing gloves. I don't know if anyone's seen that.
Yeah.
The comically sized boxing gloves. It's the best.
I went to Indianapolis when they had the runoffs there, and Alliance, they hosted a meet and greet esports party that one Wednesday night or something. So yeah, good people.
By the way,
slow racer in America was fun.
Michael, to you, Tim or Timothy is dad. So yes, there you go.
Yeah, different parameters to you guys. Also, the other name that he does or does not know is OEM.
OEM.
The original manufacturer.
Oh, there you go. I like it. I like it. That's a good one, Michael. I got that one.
That's so bad.
That's good. I like it. Timothy, listen, we're on a podcast. I hope you enjoyed that joke because I did. I thought that was a pretty good one, buddy.
Yeah. All right. So what do we got? We got you. How did you find the Spec Racer Ford in real life versus in the sim in the Weekend Warrior races? How did all that jive for you?
So I found the Ford through Jason Pribble. He was what team was it? Not Bobby Sack used to run with them before he went to further. It was Elite Auto. Jason recommended me to Elite Auto, and I'm like, they're in Wisconsin. That's too expensive. Crap. But also solid team. You've seen their history with Bobby, with Jason, with I think Satulo, and a lot of the guys were there before they created Further Motorsports. And then through Jason, that kind of piqued my interest with the IRL, and then went on SCCA, found the B2, and that was the catalyst to finding B2, the test Alliance, and all that. On the sim, it was actually, I think it was you, Stevie, that got me to the Spec Ford, because I'll be honest with you, I don't think I ran more than like one official every blue moon, because I just the officials usually when I was on, they never went official, so I'm like,
Yeah, I think I remember you saying something about that, and it was like, no, can you do real world? You need to come over here and check this. So
wait, where did you find him? Was this
Facebook?
On Facebook?
Because I'm in the Spec Ford group, and then as I posted about that, and also if you look at any of my any Facebook at all of me, you see I do the sim racing, of course, like any other driver my age does at this point.
Sure.
And it's, hey, you do iRacing, you do Spec Ford.
Yep.
Come join the group.
Yeah.
Deal.
Yep.
I want to say your first race was Magello. Was that right?
Last season, I think it was Magello. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the Alliance Auto Paint and everything. That was the debut of that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember producing that race, I believe, and I knew immediately that you were going to be fast, man. I knew immediately. I was like, "Oh boy, here he comes."
Yeah. I don't have the Verstappen or Alien pace yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
Oh,
it takes a little while.
You the reason I remember is because you gave me an epic draft in quali. That put me in like, I don't know, P3 or P4 or something. So that's how I remember
that guy. He was my wind tunnel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, how does the sim compare to the real one?
Not at all.
No. It does, but the thing is, it doesn't compare in the way people expect. Because when I tested for bar, because that's the biggest time I spent any meaningful time in the iRacing Ford was before Barber, and I was trying to see how 1-to-1 it was. Like, if I put a 36 down in iRacing, will it put a 36 in real world?
Yeah.
And also driving dynamics. How does the car react to force? Because also that's one thing versus going from IRL to sim or sim to IRL is you go from, and the best way I describe it is like, I'm sure everyone's seen those ads of those, oh, you sit in water like a deprivation tank, you just sit in the water and hover, and it's supposed to just drown out everything. That's what IRL to sim is. With sim to IRL, it's like every single sense just goes like this.
Yeah.
That's why you see sim to the both. There's the variance, and that's the really cool part. You see the variance between, like, you have Verstappen who just it clicks with both.
Right.
Then you have Willpower or Pillow where they're fast, but you could tell like they're not alien tier. But then also you see there's a There's a guy named Sven
Morad?
Haas, I think, or Morad as well, where they're either they're absolute weapons in the sim or they're absolute weapons IRL. But that's the more common denominator is either they're fast in one or the other. Fast in both is still, I think it's give it more time.
Michael, I hate to cut in here. I mean, I get exactly where you're coming from. Sorry, Stevie, but when you've got people like Jimmy Broadbent as well, a driver that we haven't mentioned that we should, that went from sim to IRL, right?
Yeah.
So that's a totally opposite way of what you're saying. So when you say, so you did this, like sim to IRL, when you're in IRL, it's kind of like just all of a sudden a totally different feel. When you say that, is just because everything going on around you, or is just the way the car feels in general?
Yes, it's both, because when you're driving in the sim, and also Broadbent's a really good one to bring up, as well as I know with Gran Turismo, everyone's seen now.
Yes,
is Martinborough. Both of them, sim to IRL is no longer an outlier. It's a possible path.
Yeah.
The only thing is that when they do that, they don't do a slow build. Like I know with Broadbent or Steve, or not Steve, Mansell, the guy who runs Garage 61, he did the tests and stuff, but it was a slow build. People, like if you take any of the guys who run GT3 in iRacing or Spec Ford in iRacing and you tell them hop in the car and do that lap again, they can't.
Yep.
Because like that's the same thing I said earlier with the Ford, the handling. When I go into the sim versus IRL, I go to make like the turn. I'll take the wheel. I'll do the start to turn, and I'm waiting for my physical body, and in some cases, if you hit G-forces hard enough, you'll feel your organs move, and you're waiting for that move, that little shuffle, that little hey, you turned, hey, you turned, that feedback of the car responding, and that's the big thing for me getting used to. Is I'll go to turn in the Ford in the game, and I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that feel. I'm waiting for that little shuffle or the belts to just flex a hair to where the car responded. And also with iRacing, you have the steering wheel.
Yeah.
With IRL, you have the great butt dyno.
Yeah.
And it's the best. It's the best thing since sliced bread because the second you move a little bit, you get all the info. It just clicks like faster than any computer could ever do it.
Yeah.
Steve,
go
for
one
it.
More question, man. In the chat, I think this really does kind of talk about what we're doing here. Antonio Reese said, "Did you make the same lap time in Barber on both IRL and Sim?" Because you never really talked about that. You said the 36, but were you able to make the same lap times?
No. With iRacing, it runs fast.
Okay.
So whatever you do in iRacing, add honestly 3 to 5 seconds.
Wow.
Because I say that because
depending
also
on
it's
track
to track, depending on track, and also track temp.
Yeah.
Because I posted a video of at Mid Ohio a sim and an IRL lap. It took me more time to match the laps than it took for me to actually drive it because the iRacing one was about 4 seconds faster on a 100-degree track. Not even an optimal track.
Okay.
Versus a cold track. Like it was, I think the Barber record was a 35.3 by either Franklin, Futrell, or Sack. And the iRacing Ford, you were doing 33s. And if you were in the AI and the AI turned up all the way, they were putting 31s down. It just we're not getting that type of cornering force.
Yeah.
Because like if you look at the mile an hours, like if I took the mile an hour at Road America in the sim and the mile an hour at the real world, they're close. But I don't know if it's because they're laser scan tracks, so I'm not sure how this works. Something in the calculations for the car and how it runs that scan is fast. That's why you see like, and also with the GTPs now, they're having that model issue where they're putting, I think it was, I did a 317 with the Cadillac at Le Mans, and that's hypercar LMP1 territory almost, or LMP, the old LMP 900s even, but it's they run fast. To answer Antonio's question, they run on average 3 to 5 seconds. The straightaway speeds are a little faster. That's close, but the corner speeds and the overall lap time, the sim will give you a false positive of pace.
How much of that has to do you think, with iRacing trying to bring people in because you feel like you're going fast as well? So there could be something along with that to get people drug into the sim, trying to like bring you in and make you fast, right? Because in gaming, sorry I said it, I know it's a sim, but in gaming, you want everything to be fast and you want everything to be so much more. You want to be engaged all the time, right?
Yeah.
And you wonder if that's how iRacing kind of allows you to do that.
Honestly, it's a really good question, because like you said, with any game, especially in NES iRacing game sim, either way, I play it on the computer. That's all it knows. Is that you want to reward? You want to reward the driver or player for the work, and if you tell them you could be that fast, you could be putting the great quality lap that Heinrich did at Road Atlanta or Kevin Estre at Nürburgring. You can do that. The only thing is, if anyone's in the sim, they most likely follow the series they run religiously. So I don't think it's because then they could just cross compare. You can cross compare within. I could do a Google search right now and have results, and oh look, my times are 3 seconds faster. That doesn't seem right.
Yeah,
I'm not a Porsche Motorsport factory guy yet, so I can't. I can't say I'm matching.
Anderson about the data. I promise you, she will give you.
Oh
some.
yeah.
Well, I think we were talking about that when we were watching the Daytona 24, Adam.
Yes.
Looking at the lap times, and we were like, "Whoa, we were lapping faster than that."
Oh yeah, they were way slower. I mean, we're looking at people that are crazy fast, man. I mean, people that have Sebastian Bourdais, drivers like that we know would clearly be faster than us. Like, holy shit, dude, they were 3 seconds slower than us around Daytona. Oh, we got this. We can all do it.
Yeah.
And I think
you got a couple of comments in the chat, though. Like Trenton is saying, in the sim, you've got perfect tires, perfect alignment when you leave the pits. You don't have any mismatched equipment,
any stagger differences,
any loose parts, slack in the ball joints, anything like that. So.
And also, further on this point, you don't have to have mechanical sympathy in iRacing. You don't because I know with older gen cars like the Lotus, the 49s, the 70s, the old era cars, the old prototypes Group C, they had to have that sympathy to them of, okay, I got to be careful on the throttle because if this thing builds more than X amount of bar, the engine's going to do a space program.
Yeah.
With GT3, and the thing is, even in the real world, there's still some level of sympathy more to the tires than the cars, because the cars can clearly handle it now. It's very rare that we see a race-ending failure.
Yeah.
But in iRacing, unless you are me at Winton on a curb, or
that was right in front of me, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you like the kickflip, buddy?
Yeah, that was a little spooky. It's fine. Good save.
Oh yeah. Just seeing a car like this the whole time versus this.
Yeah.
Yeah. With iRacing though, you don't have to have that sympathy. You can take curbs and just every single time, and it'll just do it. Yeah. Unless you do to the nth degree and it launch the car, which in that case you got bigger problems at that point. So unless you overheat it or you wear out the tires, the only thing that you have to take care of is tires. Everything else is just fuel save if you want, hammer down otherwise.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that plays a part in it. Because also for us, I can just go, I can take this corner at flat throttle, and if I crash, I click a button and reset.
Mm-hmm.
If it's IRL Daytona, I miss a corner, the team is going to be really angry at me. I'm probably going to have a really stern talking to from the team boss.
Yeah.
And my contract may or may not be altered in ways that I don't like.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring up a person that I probably shouldn't bring up in podcasts, but I'm going to anyways. My very good friend, Jimmy Howitt, had a race team. His dad and his uncle were all parts of a, don't laugh at me when I say this, a dirt oval team. They had a 360 wingless sprint car. And Jimmy totally paralleled what you just said. Jimmy drives different in this sim. His dad never let him drive the real car, unfortunately for Jimmy. And obviously, huge shout outs to his late dad. But when it comes to actual racing, he said the exact same thing. Like, if my cousin hit the wall, he's got to come back into the pits and he's got to deal with all of us, the repair cost, all of this stuff that goes into fixing that car to get it back out. Just the man hours involved to miss a corner in real life has nothing to do when it comes to the sim. You cannot compare it at all.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing that is it separates the alien drivers and the iRacing and I would say there's a few drivers that, and also we saw it in the racing today with the highlights.
Yes.
The mentalities.
Yep.
There's the drivers you can see with
anybody with some real world experience has got that little.
They got,
those are the ones
back.
They know they can think on their feet and they can mentally process a lot, because that's one thing as well. Back to what I was saying with the sim versus IRL with the lots of sensory or very little, is the best way I can describe it is think of a tab. If you open a tab on Google, it's going to take up CPU or computer space, or in this case, we'll just say mental space. With the real drivers versus the really fast alien drivers versus the truly good iRacing to real and or both, is they have it where they can open as many tabs as they want. I only have two hands, so 10 will do. But they can open so many tabs in their brain of, if you see a car to your right, you don't know it, but you're mentally trying to calculate his speed, his brake points, his inputs, and you're trying to predict around him. Well, also, you have a bunch of tabs open for your steering, your throttle, your brake, your car positioning, your tires. How's your car handling? What position is it in? Did you just have an off track as the tire overheated? You have all these lists just constantly going. And you can see, like, when people throw a little fake dive, like, you'll see them lined up and you'll see this little poke and then they just go straight off. What happens is basically the equivalent of the computer having too many tabs open.
Correct.
And they sputter. They shut down and go, boop, and then they don't know what to do, and then off they go. It's amazing to watch if you're looking for it, because it's hard to look for, because you'll see in any, especially with slow motion with Stevie and all, with the Spec Ford, we have a good mix, and you can see that mental game being played. And you can see we'll cross that bridge when I get to it drivers, and you'll see I've already crossed the bridge enough times. I already know what to expect here. There's 5 more bridges going, and I'm chilling.
Yeah, that's Mr. Coach up there. So.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
If I send you my data pack, could you take a look at it for the real stuff and tell me where I'm slow?
Yeah,
we got some comments. If you guys remember when Tor was in our chat or our guest, he said that the V was very close to the real world V. He felt like it was modeled very, very close. So and somebody in the chat said that that's probably the best car as far as relating to the real world car in iRacing.
Trent also did say that driving your own car compared to somebody else's, a totally different experience in real life. Like which is, it's hard for me to believe if I'm driving my own car. I know how I've driven my own car around some back roads in Indiana, and I would probably take more liberty in that than I would driving somebody else's car. So Trent, I got a question for you on that. Like, do you drive somebody else's harder or less hard? Because I know I would never drive somebody else's car as hard as I would drive my own.
You back it off 10% or something.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, you back it off because also it's like it's the same as being a guest at someone's house, but just with their car, or in this case, race car. Yeah. You want to give it back to them nice, and that's one thing especially that I've tried to do my best with throughout the season is the team will notice and appreciate you bringing back a clean car.
Right. Yeah.
Because I could have done a lot better at Road America or at this track or that track, but I would have risked not bringing back a clean car.
Yeah.
And as a team, they're going to really like seeing that because also as a reference, if any other team, like if I try to go to any other series after Spec Ford, they're going to ask, well, do you have any other teams you've ran with? Yeah, I've ran with Alliance. And if they say, well, yeah, he's great with the car. Every time, even if he turns it into a rally car at the kink, it comes back clean. A little bit dirty, but the car's intact. There's no damage that's race ending or over $5 of hardware to fix. The team will be a lot more likely to cut you a break, even maybe, because they know they're not taking on risk as a team. Because if I have it where I have the choice between two identical people, they both are about the same performance. One's a little faster, let's say 0.3 a lap faster, but also he is a lot more likely to bring that car back on a tow rig. I'm not going to want him in the car because I kind of want the car back.
Yep.
And also having it where your shop has to put in a lot of man hours because also a lot of drivers, it depends on who's in the car. Some people are just having fun in it. But if some people, they say, well, it ain't yours, you beat on it like a rental, those drivers aren't probably going to want to they're not going to be offered to get back in as often, or they're going to be a little bit more on this end because they know you're going to beat the car up. And even though it didn't break, but you did more to it. Yeah. You can tell when they were leaving the pits, they just flat-footed it right out of the pits. They slammed the gears. When they downshifted, they spiked the downshift, so you just see the revs go the whole time.
Yep.
Or here's the limiter, and they just go like this the whole time and try to see how high it goes before they have a new window. You can tell. There's data on the cars. They will be able to tell and be like, hey, stop it. Don't do that.
Yeah, and Trent mentioned the RPM issue in the chat as well. He would always run the rentals or the other people's cars lower in the RPM range, and that's kind of a something we always talk about in the Formula V draft parties. Is we the real life drivers are like, why we would never drive the car like this in real life, because we would there's a lot of times where we'll just we'll call it screaming it. So instead of upshifting to fourth, it's faster to just leave it in third and let the car max out on the RPM. So it's just it's just redlining it for a lot longer instead of upshifting to fourth.
And I know the Ford has long gears on that one.
Yeah, so it's just something that you would never do in real life because it's you just break in the engine pretty much.
Yeah, unless you afford an engine a weekend, it would be detrimental. And also at that point, if you're willing to afford, there was a guy in karting that did the same where they afforded an engine a weekend. I think it was it was a super kart. Every weekend, that kart saw a new engine, and it's like, dude, what are you doing here? This is a club race, no money. We're just here to have fun, and you're every day a new engine, every session sticker tires. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. So Michael, I got a question. Stevie, you're running a little bit over here, but we're gonna keep going because I ask any real life racers this, and I'm gonna ask you, where do you go from here? What is your main goal in all of this? What do you do outside of racing? What is your main goal? If you look forward 15 years from now, where do you see yourself?
Honestly, for main goal, it would just be as a professional driver. It doesn't matter if it's sports car, open wheel, Dakar, oval. The only thing is if it stays, I would like to stay to road racing because I know that the driving standards versus
Oh wait, what are you saying? NASCAR isn't good?
I'm saying I don't have the sponsors to have a new car every weekend because I know it's a good old hip check and shove type of game.
But you talked about people that could afford new engines every weekend. You just get into NASCAR, buddy. You got yourself one.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can convince the current. We'll see. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll consider that. I'll follow Von Gisberg and do road racing for a bunch of years, and then just say, you know what?
There you go.
I'm gonna take the road course experience and go bully a few oval guys for a little bit.
There you go. Yep, absolutely.
Back to your main point, though, is a pro driver in any capacity. If it's as long as, and I'm not saying like Hamilton level paid or Verstappen level paid. I'm just meaning honest living, whatever's comfortable.
Just being able to afford
you're
it.
at, being able to where a team calls and says, "Hey, we have a car. You're our guy. You in? Deal."
Yeah.
Because if you can ask my mom and dad in the chat, this is pushing pedals and paddles or gears at this point has now become a personality trait for me.
Sure.
If I'm not doing racing, I'm either at work getting money for racing or at the gym getting physically ready for racing. So if it's not racing, I'm not there.
Yeah.
This may be a better question to ask mom or dad, and I hope Tim's still in the chat. But, I mean, obviously, in case you all didn't know, which most of you do, I'm expecting here. And I want to give my child, my daughter, the opportunities I wasn't afforded. And I guess the big thing is the cost. I mean...
Something flew it.
Oh, this just came in from the back room.
There you go.
But
all right.
Yeah. So
well played, Sarah. Well played.
Love it.
That was good. That was very good, by the way, babe. But I guess the one thing that I do, I mean, when does it become cost effective? And I mean, I think Stevie could probably answer this as well. Does it ever become cost effective? How big do you have to get to allow your child to go out and do that thing? Tim, I think that might be more of a question for you. But in your position, Michael, are you just kind of hanging on until they say, "Hey, man, like it's getting too much"?
Yeah. It's an interesting topic because, of course, when I hit the point where I get out of racing, I would love for my kid to do the same and have the ability to just say, "Hey, everything's paid, you're set." But the biggest thing is that it's either there's a few ways because some people can move up too quick. Like if I wanted to, I could completely drop spec Ford for the year and do one-off and hope that I get picked up. But that doesn't happen. That's not today. If you're not bringing money, you're not getting a seat. It's simple as that.
Right.
So for like what you said, it's a slow burn. And also, it's funny enough, it's slow motion broadcasting. Slow motion is better than no motion.
Yeah.
There you go.
A slow here versus
step
here,
by step.
here. Oh, too big of a step.
Yep.
Got to have a good foundation.
Exactly. And also, the more you're able to be there, and by there I mean at the track, at events, at anything, because I'm sure with it being spec Ford, if you guys both follow the IRL, you probably know Morgan Burkhardt.
Yep.
The guy who does GF.
He's raced with us a bunch.
Oh yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I'll have to see if I can run into him here.
Yeah.
Just don't run into him. Obviously,
no, not actually. No, no, he'd be angry about that.
Yeah.
No, he'd probably dust me in the first lap anyway. So no worries about bumping him yet. I gotta get faster. But if you're not consistently there, you don't have the chance. I would have never met Morgan at Road America if I tried to do a one-hit wonder type of race.
Oh, yeah.
If I would have never met, I think I met James French, LMP2 pro driver at Gretton. Watched him set the Formula Atlantic track record at Gretton. Again, it's not a big swing. You want to go slow.
Yeah.
Because also, if you go too fast and then something literally anything happens, you don't have the budget, you don't have the fallback.
Yep.
With karting for 23, I cut back budget and would just try to stretch tires a little further because I knew that I'm looking into Fords next year, start banking away money, start getting things in order. And also at the first 2 races was Gingerman and Road America, it was just slow burn. Take your time, learn the car, learn how the car wants to be driven versus how you are trying to drive it, and go from there.
Smart.
And also don't be the throw a setup at it guy.
Right.
To an extent. Because here's the thing. With iRacing, I'm the throw a setup at it guy. Because some of the cars do not drive in fixed configuration well. But in real world, they have a good setup. They're with the Fords, there's not much to do. You could do the same as iRacing, roll bars, rake, ride height, rebound. I know for the first 2 races, I tried to really mess with rebound a lot, and it's like, look, you're just giving yourself a bigger hole to dig out of. At Grattan, I waited until like mid-Saturday to even think of an adjustment so that I knew how the car would react in every corner, and I'm like, look, can we do a quick adjustment with the ride height? Because with Grattan, there's a hill, and it crests into a dip. And even though I'm still pretty spry for a young person, my back did not like it. It did not like that landing. And it was one of those, you have to hit that to be fast. If you don't hit the bump, you're not fast. Simple as that. That's a half a second a lap because it puts you out of position.
Yep.
And one thing I will say that's really good with the sim or the real world as well is using it for theory. Like, I'll take a car, take it to a track. Okay, what do I want it to do? And being able to say, okay, it does this, this, this in this corner. Okay, that means it would be, and you have mentally, you can have an entire like diagnostics running for 5 things here in the high speed, 5 in the low speed, 5 in the medium, and categorize it. Okay, they're all going to affect each other at one way, shape, or form, but this is it mainly affects, like rake will mainly affect your balance, which also spec Ford, it's still going to affect the balance. Yes, there's no arrow, but the chassis angle will still play a role into how it behaves on trail break in, drive out, coast. It transfers well. And also that will save you a lot of time and money because using the sim as a diagnostic tool and as a reference. Don't use it as a one-to-one. Use it as a building block would be a better way to say it.
Yep.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to leave, or not going to leave, but I'm going to give this over to Stevie after I ask this one question. Obviously, I am a producer for Slow Motion Broadcasting, Michael. I need to ask you what in the hell your SDK profile picture is, because I believe that is you with the trash can over the top of your head, if I'm not mistaken.
As cool as it would be to say it's me, it's not.
Oh,
it is.
okay.
I ran when I first had the good old laptop and G920 set up. I ran an open wheel league, and I didn't have a photo at the time because I didn't have any stories of race cars yet.
Right.
And I saw a photo on my page of some guy in a trash can doing the little rock symbols. And I'm like, that's the one. That's what we use for the screen. And it just stuck.
Yeah.
It just stuck.
That makes more sense. You have no idea how much I've been wanting you to come into an interview waiting room so I can ask that exact question. I'm glad I was able to do it tonight.
Yeah. Your answer is now here.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Life is good.
Yep.
All right, Stevie, you can have him back. I know I just totally took the podcast over from you.
No, we're good. Super thanks to taking your time to join us tonight, Michael. It really informative. Loved hearing the stories and your take and your perspective on all this stuff that we call fun and sim racing and the real world stuff. I love the tie-in. Like I said, my passion is tying the two worlds together.
Can't leave yet, Stevie.
You're a great example. Do what?
Can't leave yet.
Where did Mo Goose come from?
So initially, in the early days, we had Mighty Mo. That was the reference to the battleship and the USS Missouri in Battleship.
Yep.
And then it came from a bowling league, actually, from Mogoose, which is kind of funny. There was a guy that we were on a team with, Robert. There was 2 Roberts. That was kind of fun. That every time the guy in front of me, I think it was one of the other guys that would go, every time we were down on points, I would suddenly bowl better. And I am terrible at bowling. So, but the thing is, every time we needed an extra bump of points, I somehow got it. So he's like, "Yeah, you're Mo Goose." And I'm like, "Huh?" He's like, "Goose from Top Gun as a wingman, because every time we need the wingman, you're there."
Nice.
And also with the initials, MO, Michael Odell, MO, Goose.
Okay.
So we got Mo Goose.
Sounds good.
That's a great story.
And also that's why every time we see geese at the track, I just hit the Officer Doofy salute and say those are my brothers. It's the best part is the looks. The looks I get from people just going, "There's my brothers!" just out loud, and then you see someone go,
"What?"
All right, Michael, so here's the deal. I know somewhere online there's a picture of you hitting the Officer Doofy salute. You need to find one somewhere online. I guarantee you there is. You need to post it in the SRF chat because I will never let you live that down.
I will do you one better.
Uh-oh.
I'll keep the trash can man for the time being.
Okay.
And then for Hoosier Super Tour, which if anyone's near Road Atlanta on the stream, we will be at Atlanta next month for Super Tour. Please come say hi at the Alliance thing. If you have questions, I will happily answer them all, except how to get $1 million. I'm still working. But I will make sure after the Super Tour, before I get in that car, I will stand in the car and have the doofy with the helmet.
I want the doofy.
That will be my profile pic for Spec4. Is
we
the
all
officer
want
doofy.
the doofy, Michael. Give us the doofy, buddy.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
Love
it's
it.
A plan.
I love it. So yeah, we're going to be following you, watching your exploits on the real world, and looking forward to bumping fenders with you in the Weekend Warriors. So again,
I'll report back if Tire Gate's a thing in the real world. Michael Odell is half in the grass. What's he doing? Michael, what are you doing? I'm cooling my tires, guys. I did this in the game.
Yeah, there you go.
It's not a game, it's a sim.
It's a sim. Yeah, no games here.
Uh-oh.
Well, I'm a sim guy for forever, so it's a sim.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just drive the car at this point.
Yeah. So tell your family, tell the family of the Alliance we all said hi, and we're going to watch you and hope to see you again on the track really soon. And
hopefully I'll try to shoot for the next Sunday.
All right. And Saturdays, if you want to join the V's,
I'll
check
see
it
what
out.
I can do.
Yeah, that's always some of the best racing in the V's.
Yep.
So
I'll need to be third when Jason
don't let Jason and Tor get together, man. Just sit in third place. You're fine.
I know. Once we're in third, I'll just say, "Hey guys, I'm in P1, but they don't know it yet."
Love it. All right, guys. I think that we're going to wrap that up.
We do need to wrap it up, but Stevie, there's something that else you got to talk about here because it's starting to gain quite a bit of traction, and I think it's the new venture that you've joined into with myself and Jason.
Yeah.
We got a race coming up here pretty quick, I think, within the next week or so.
Week and a half. Week and a half, yeah.
Yeah, and we've also got the Daytona 500 coming up a little bit sooner than that. So, Stevie, tell us about it.
Yeah, we've got a team that I had a vision of just a couple of us putting some paints on our car and going out and doing our thing, and it's gone into a full-blown team, slow motion racing.
Yes.
Racing like the Raycing Line. And Adam has been very busy doing some paints for us. If you're interested in running with us, let us know. We've got a Discord set up for the team. Jason is kind of organizing the teams, getting us ready. We're going to be doing the 12 hours of Bathurst in a week and a half. And I think we've got, 3 teams set up to do that?
Yep. It's
going to be close to 3. That I was looking at the registration today. I was like, how the hell is Jason going to split this one up? Because it's 5 and 5 for the 2 different cars that Jason wanted to run. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does there.
All right.
Yep. McLaren, Ferrari, and I don't know if we've got a Porsche team or not, but
not yet. No.
If I see one of those teams, I am sending. I will call if I have to. Be like, hey, tell your team we're working together for this.
Yeah, 100%. Just hit us up if we're in the same. Just hit us up in voice chat. I'll be like, I'm sticking with Michael no matter what.
Yeah. All right, that's all we got coming up. Always, we've got Wednesday night Ray Sports Club Racing League. Those are the club racers, SCCA, WRL based guys. Join us on that when you get a chance, Michael. 80% of them are real world racers, so it's where we've seen more of Morgan and those guys.
What night?
Wednesday night.
Ooh. Is that this Wednesday too?
Yep. We got like 3 groups. Group 1 is 2 races. The first group is Miatas. The second group are the TCRs. 40-minute races. The group 2, what's the second week, is GT4s, kind of a WRL thing for 75-minute races. And the group 3 is 2 races, Formula Vs and Spec Fords. So, and we rotate those 3 every week. One group.
That's
1,
cool.
2, 3. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
As long as I ain't stuck at work, I will definitely be trying to make those.
Yeah.
No promises, but we'll see.
Yeah. Check that out. What do we got? Shoot, I'm drawing a blank.
Too much.
Yeah, AMS on Tuesday night on slow motion.
Yeah, XSLR coming up this next weekend as well. Things are getting real busy around the SMB, SMR, Ray Esports. Freaking God, Stevie, you gotta slow down with the amount of things you want us to do here. But yes, Cross Series League Racing coming up on Sunday night is going to be our first race. Sounds like we're going to have quite a few weekend warriors there with us this weekend. We're going to be running the 410 wing sprint at Knoxville for the first race. So I hope to see you all there. And please tune in. Yeah, Stevie's going to be there as well. Obviously, everything's going to be coming in here pretty quick. So yeah, we are. We got a lot going on. But again, thank you everybody in the chat, and thank you everybody that's brought me in and allowed me to do everything that I've been able to do, and thank you Stevie as well. So yeah, it's been an absolute blast, and I don't think we're slowing down anytime soon.
Doesn't look like it. Couldn't do it without you, and you're one of the reasons it's been going like crazy. So thanks again. Thanks to our family in the chat, the Keyboard Racers. I think we got a name for them. And
like that.
I like that. JG, awesome, man. Running the team, running the replays. Said I couldn't do the podcast without you guys. And once again, like I said, thanks, Michael, for taking time out tonight. I know you had to rush after work to make it, and appreciate you being here. We're going to be following you, and we may have to just have you on again at some point down the road and have another.
Don't forget about us, Michael, when you make it big, buddy.
Okay. Have a good mid-season recap.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thanks you for having me on. Greatly appreciate it, and trust me, I ain't forgetting y'all. Even if we have a pro contract, I'm finding every way to. Hey guys, look, I know I'm contracted to race this weekend, but just give me this little time block. I got a spec race to do.
Yeah, you got to come race Weekend Warriors. So
I got Weekend Warriors. It's important. We got to do it.
Yep. So with that, I think we'll call it a wrap on episode 24. And I think we're going to have Kevin Ford from the Extreme scoring. Yep.
Nice.
Next week. So yeah, tune in for that next week. Yep. So with that, thanks everybody. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you next week, if not before.
Next week, y'all.
Bye guys.
Take care.
appreciate your time, Frank. This gentleman has done wonders for sim racing, the real world racers that come into sim racing or go back and forth. Frank's responsible to get some guys out on track. So without further ado, Mr. Frank Swartz, Grass Paddock Motorsports, tell us what you do. What do we call this thing? The Racing Line. I'm all out of sync. We got more people to deal with this week than what I'm used to. So thanks to my co-host Jason for joining us. Adam's back this week. And as you can see, we got a fourth sitting here. Megan Oversheet is already joining us to help us do some reviews and stuff. So thank you, Megan.
Let's go, Megan.
And help us. Good evening, Greg.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, we're just getting ready to review the spec racers, and since we had an announcer in the waiting room, we thought we'd go ahead and bring you in.
Well, thank you very much.
There he is.
Hey, we got him.
Hey, Jason, we got you this time.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me.
We won't talk about the other.
Our special guest for the evening, Mr. Dave Ogburn, and for Dave to introduce you to these two knuckleheads, you got. Great to see you, Thor. Welcome to the fourth chair and the podcast this week.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It feels surreal, like finally being able to talk to you guys. You know, I've been in this league for like 2-3 years, and yeah, finally face to face.
Oh. Yes, our first guest.
Jeff.
On the spot now, Jeff. So, welcome, Mr. Jeff Jacobson. Again. Great to have you here. Thanks for taking some time out to join us. We get to some fun part. That's why you're here, Jerry. This is our guest segment after the reviews. So thanks for sitting through with us. And
that was fun.
And
thanks.
Yeah, it's some good racing. So, well, first of all, we gotta say thank you to Trenton for taking time to come join us. He's one of the hardest working guys I know, and you can look there in the shop behind him and get an idea of what he does. So, as everybody sees, we've got Darren Ganji, and if you didn't know already, he is Mr. Sim Motion, where you can get all your sim rigs and equipment and everything. He's also the sponsor of that league we were just talking about.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Sean Ambrose, we go back forever, back to the very early beginning days of the Weekend Warriors, when it was broadcasted on another broadcast, GSRC, I don't mind saying it. Very good to us. And Sean was one of the producers, announcers, always great to talk with.
So, Mr. Edgar Sancinelli, Weekend Warrior, Frito Sport Racing. I don't know what all you do, but great to have you join us tonight, Edgar.
Yes.
I'm not saying shit. Oh, yeah, I literally. Whatever, I give up.
There you go.
I know you've had a mute for me. So,
Oh, for sure. Yeah, when you
yeah.
just for the views when Adam and you were there. I mean, it's
yeah, it's
jeez.
Oh yeah.